Hey guys, Tallboy Gaming here, and today we'll be doing a bit of a different video this time. We're going to be doing, or not really a reaction, but rather an analysis of the Pikmin 4 trailer that was shown in the Nintendo Direct yesterday. Now, in case you guys have for some reason not seen this, I will play it for you now. Okay, so that was the trailer for Pikmin 4. Now, because this is an analysis, hold on, we're going to be looking, so let's look through this trailer in depth. So we'll play it back a bit slower so we can see everything. Now, as we can see, the game is going to have very, very beautiful graphics, as we can see. And we have one of the Pikmin-free enemies. The one of the butterflies. I don't remember the name. I'm not that smart. And now here we can see what looks to be bulbs in the distance and some kind of blue plant in the middle. But as we can see, this is a big bench here, so that leads me to believe that one of the worlds or areas could be, say, a park from the looks of it. And it's a bit hard to see, but that tube, well, it looks like there's some kind of tube there or like some sort of like glass bowl. It looks like there's an arch over here and a big fence. So this leads me to believe that possibly that we could be in like someone's backyard, and we could just be exploring this very small backyard. Now we go to the next scene here. Now, this is what I'm excited for. Now, we can see that bulbs are here. We can see blue fencing, some flowers, and a blue brick here. But this is what I want to look at. This clock right here on the fence. Now, what does that look like? What does that look like? I'll tell you what it looks like to me. The temporal mechanism from Pikmin 2. I mean, tell me this isn't the same as this. I mean, they're very. Well, I mean, they're not exactly identical, but they look very, very similar. Which leads me to believe that they may be bringing back treasures in Pikmin 4. Which brings me such amazement because I'm gonna say it here. Pikmin 2 is my favorite Pikmin game. Hands down. I liked it because there was so much treasure. 201 to be exact. 201 treasure to collect. Pikmin 1 there was 30. Pikmin 3 only had 66 fruit. But with Pikmin 2 were 201 treasures. And all of them being unique. Yes, some of them were quite similar, but all unique nonetheless. Now, are they going to bring back treasures? Oh boy, I hope so. And from the looks of it, from seeing this watch on the fence, just quite possibly. Now, as we can see, it's the watch is hanging from a nail. Now, that leads me to believe that we might have to get Pikmin to like break the fence. So like maybe Pikmin might have to break the fence, or we might have to chuck some yellow Pikmin or something up there to push it down, or like knock it off the nail or something. Now, now that we're on the topic of Pikmin 2 and with the treasures, are they going to bring back the caves? I can't be certain about that. If they do, if they do or don't, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna buy this game nonetheless. I'm gonna pre-order this game. I'll buy the game 50 times if I have to. I absolutely love the Pikmin franchise, but yeah. It looks like to be the temporal mechanism, or at least very similar to it, hanging on the fence. And we have a bulb. Now, as we can hear from that trumpets. Now, you could hear all the different instruments playing. There was trumpet, violin, piano, I think, all that sort of stuff. Which might mean that Pikmin 4 has an orchestrated game, like it has orchestrated music, just like Mario Galaxy, which would be very interesting. Now the logo. The flowers go from white to yellow, which may be a nod to a new Pikmin type that heads will be yellow. Because think, Pikmin 1 had, the white flower, the Pikmin 4, like the Pikmin logo was white because of the white flowers which the original 3 Pikmin had. Pikmin 2, the 2 was the purple flowers indicating the purple and white. Pikmin 3, it wasn't the same, it had red, and there wasn't any red flowers. But Pikmin 4 has yellow flowers, so I wonder if they're just doing that to hint a new Pikmin, or if they're doing that to just like be cool, or if that's a reference to Hey Pikmin, not Hey Pikmin, Pikmin Bloom, where there's multiple different nectars that your Pikmin can drink. And as we can see, the game will be releasing in 2023. Now, if we go into Nintendo Direct videos, here we go. Now, if we skip to where Pikmin 4 is. Where is it? Is it in the description? No, it's not. Oh, here we go. Where is it? Pikmin 4. Now, we skip through.
That's right. Pikmin 4 will launch in 2023. We won't be showing any gameplay today. However, you'll be able to play like this, from the Pikmin's perspective near the ground.
Now, this is what I want to get into. Go away, subtitles. Now, we can see the Pikmin here, so red, blue, and yellow are going to still be around. And that what looks to be Brittany from Pikmin 3. Tell me this isn't Brittany. That's Brittany. So this leads me to believe that maybe the Kopies are coming back. And we can see a much better look of the world. So we can see that this was the scene from you was this scene. We get a better look at this area. Whoops. No. Get a better look at this area. So as we can see, the clock is still on the temporal mechanism still on the wall, and so is the bulb still here. But we can see much more of the area. So there's what looks to be some sort of toolbox, possibly. Now let's go in. There looks to be lots of blocks everywhere. That is what appears to be a tap. There is a huge stone gate, or stone wall guarding the area with a big metal fence. So this could be, I feel this area and this area are two different areas. Because look, this has blue fence, this has brown fence. This has a stone wall surrounding it, this doesn't. Though there is one similar thing. It does sort of have an entryway, because as you can see here, this has sort of an arch, and this has a gate. So there is some sort of similar entryway. Now, as Miyamoto said, the game is going to be played at the Pikmin's perspective. So instead of the camera being up looking at a 45-degree angle, it's going to be back behind the Pikmin. Like how if you were to hold the camera button in Pikmin 2, how the camera would go behind you. That's how the game is going to be, which is amazing. It's going to be very, very cool. Now, I don't think there's anything else to talk about, really, but let's see.
I also made a new t-shirt.
I want to get this shirt. Let me put it up. Let me buy it.
Nintendo Switch has made controlling the game simpler, meaning you can further concentrate on the core essence of Pikmin gameplay. We call it dandori in Japanese, or strategically planning, deploying, and commanding the Pikmin. I hope you're all looking forward to Pikmin 4. Thank you, Mr. Koizumi.
Now, with Miyamoto mentioning
Dandori.
dandori. Now, English to Japanese. No, that's not. Dandori. Oh, yeah. It translates to setup, which is what Pikmin is all about. You have to set up what you're going to do for the game. Now, with this dandori apparently meaning setup, this could mean that we can possibly set up camp in an area. Now, I know this is incredibly far-fetched, but just possibly it could mean this. But this is just me speculating at this point. Now, back to this. Now, I think we've done a very good analysis and we've gone through everything. But now that I've said this, I want to go through what I want, or like what I reckon would be cool, like some or not really theories, but what I would like to see in Pikmin 4. And if you guys have any ideas, comment them down below, because I'm sure you guys have amazing ideas, and I'd like to hear them. I've been wondering this for. I reckon this would be a very cool idea if they gave Pikmin games a crafting system where, say, you had to go into the overworld and maybe find, let's say, a bolt, maybe I don't know, like a fuel can, and maybe like a gun shell or something. Like, this is just me speculating. This we could craft those treasures together, and we could make like captain upgrades and stuff. Like, say if we were to get like a nut or something, or maybe a bolt, and then can mix it with like some metal wires and a battery, we could make a communication like device so we could contact stuff. Now, I know this is very far-fetched, but imagine it. Just bringing back, like, there's like a crafting like table, and if you bring back those certain treasures to the ship, you'll be able to craft that item. And with that item, you can access and get new stuff. Now, if they don't make a new Pikmin type, it's going to be a bit upsetting, but honestly, the 7 Pikmin types we have, even if they only put in the 5, like 5 from Pikmin 3, or even the 5 from Pikmin 2, it'll be fine, because, like, legit, I don't mind that Pikmin, like, that if they don't make a new Pikmin, I'm totally in fine with that. And I know it's up in the air if they're gonna make a new Pikmin, but yeah. Now, another thing I would like to see is, now we've already seen that Brittany is in the game, which means that possibly the co-pies could be back. Another thing I've been always talking about with my friend when we've been theorizing Pikmin 4 for the last 2 years is there was multiple stories where maybe there was, so the co-pies, Alf, Brittany, Charlie, and the Hocketates, Louis, Olimar, and the president, all 6 of them go into a ship. Like, they go into a ship for a holiday on PNF 404, but let's say Olimar's driving as normal, he crashes the ship, like he always does. Now, what happens is they're carrying a big ship hoard, like of treasures and stuff, and fruit, and it all gets spilt out and dropped everywhere. Now, not only that, the captain split up. So, because they'd fly out, and they'd all be on different parts of the planet. So maybe you'd have, maybe Olimar by himself on one side, then you'd have maybe Louis and Charlie on one side again, together, and then on another side you'd have like the president, Alf and Brittany on another side, and the goal is to not only they've got to build their own ship again with the crafting mechanic I've just explained, and they'd have to maybe make receivers to connect with each other. And once they bond with each other, they'd mix all their communication stuff together to make like a really big one, and they'd be able to find like, say, the cosmic drive key or whatever, like the thing that they need to escape off the planet. And they get to where it's going, and there could be like the final boss. You've got to defeat it, like in a really cool action-packed battle. You've got to defeat the final boss, and you get like the key, and you get to drive off. Now I know this is very far-fetched, as I've just said, but imagine it. It would be incredible. Now another thing is, I wonder if they're going to be bringing back fruit, because the fruit, again, like, what if, like, we have all the stuff on board the ship? Maybe with one, because there's 3 split ups, as I said, if they were to do that, you might have maybe Olimar by himself collecting the ship parts. Then maybe you'd have Louis and Charlie collecting maybe treasures or fruit, or like, yeah, treasures, and then Alf, Brittany, and Louis, no, Alf, Brittany, and President, like, collecting fruit. So you'd have each of them collecting different things, because they'd need the fruit to survive, the treasures to repay something, or just get them back to deliver them, and you'd need the ship parts to fix the ship. I mean, it's genius. On even that, if they were to bring back caves, you could do a thing. Maybe you could have ship parts and treasures. No, ship parts and fruits above ground, and treasures underground. Like, you could do that, or even have like fruits buried, ship parts out in the open, and treasures underground. Like, something like that would be absolutely incredible. But yeah, I think that's about it for this Pikmin 4 analysis video. Like, Pikmin 4 announcement trailer analysis video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!